Hey gang, well it's time for another episode, part, chapter, whatever you want to call it, this ongoing series of things in this town that I just think are just really messed up or just plain wrong, whatever you want to call it. And well, as you can see right there, this time around I'm going to be talking about a subject that might be a tad bit controversial to some, and well, it's something I've been wanting to talk to you guys about for quite some time, and that is, of course, the churches of this town, or at least most of them in this town. Pretty much churches altogether, really. When I was a kid, I used to go to church constantly, hardly ever missed it. Loved going to church, always had a good time going to church, went to, Sunday school and everything like that, and, I'd also listen to the preacher, and everything like that, and Then we moved here to Arkansas, and I still went to church. We first moved to Huntington, a small town, and weren't too many churches there to go to, so went to the one in Mansfield, which was probably not even a 5-minute drive, and went there and everything like that. Had a lot of fun going to that church and everything. And then we came here to Boonville, and well, I tried going to church here, but for some reason I just kind of felt a little uncomfortable going to churches here and everything like that. And it really kind of hit me after a while that, after just completely stop going to church and everything. My parents would start going to church. Of course, this was sometime before they passed away. Started going to church, and they tried to get me to get back into it, but I just told them honestly, after everything they went through, going from different church to different church in this town, I said, Mom, Dad, I'm just not into it anymore. And besides that, a friend of ours who was a big time church goer at one of the last churches they went to, actually told me, and I even heard this from a preacher, friend of ours over in Mansfield too. They both said that really you don't have to go to church. To believe in God is all that really matters. Church is a choice, it's not a mandatory thing. And that's what really kind of opened my eyes to realize that, I can still believe in God, I can still pray to God and ask Him to forgive me my sins and watch over my friends, my family, and just pray for good things to happen. And when I got that information, it really kind of opened up my eyes and made me realize that again, church is a choice, but it's not mandatory. And most people who go to church, who I call the hardcore Christians, they're really the ones that try to make it sound like and seem like that you have to absolutely go to church or you're going to go to hell for it. Honestly, though, gang, I've always believed in God. I will always believe in God no matter what, but I will not ever believe in going to church. And one of the biggest reasons is because this what you're seeing here is the last church I ever went to before I stopped going to them altogether. The thing is, there's one Sunday I missed, and I overheard some people talking about the way I was dressed and everything like that. Regular t-shirt, jeans, things like that. I wasn't exactly wearing church apparel. I always tried to wear some kind of respectful to church and everything like that. But one Sunday I missed because I slept in too late, and so I'm walking by the church, and I heard some people talking about the way I was dressed and everything like that, and it just kind of hit me that basically church people are really nothing more than hypocrites. And and I also had to realize that a lot of people I was going to church with, inside the church, they were always like, yeah, we'll help you out, we'll do whatever you want, we'll be there for you, brother, and all this other stuff. But outside the church, they act like I was a total stranger, so that kind of hit me kind of hard too. But it also made me realize that maybe really all this church going nonsense was just not worth it anymore. And one thing that really surprised me more than anything about a church, the last church my parents went to, which is way over on the almost on the other side of town. This one guy who became friends with our family, his name was Brother Jonathan. He actually, I can't remember if he got fired or if he quit the church that he was going to, my parents went to, And when my sister came down for my mom's funeral and everything like that, they went through our old shed and started just burning a bunch of old stuff that was ragged and pretty much needed to be destroyed. And surprisingly enough, I actually saw Brother Jonathan throw an old Bible into the fire, and that just shocked me. And I don't know why he did it. Maybe he just thought it was an old Bible, didn't matter, or maybe he was just angry or something like that. But it just really shocked me and surprised me that he would do something like that. But really, I mean, when you think about the biggest hypocrites in the world, it's the ones who go to church, and it's these people who try to tell you all the time that they're living for God and everything like that. And I've met plenty of people who sit there all the time and say, well, I would never do this, never do this, never do this. And then you find out later on, yeah, they're doing this and this and this. They're doing everything they say they're not saying that they're going to. I've often heard people who go to church a lot of times use offensive language, which really shocks me and surprises me. So really, in all honesty, people who go to church, they ought to just face it. They're not better than anybody else, not better than everybody else. And I think they need to realize that they're just human beings, and you know, just because you go to church doesn't make you better than everybody else. It doesn't mean you know more than everybody else, and definitely doesn't mean you know more than God. That's the other thing that always gets me too, is that they're always saying, they always, a lot of these preachers seem to sit there and say, well, we know when the end's going to come and everything like that. And they go out here and they preach about it and preach about it and preach about it and preach about it. What happens? Nothing happens, and they sit there looking like fools and idiots. So really, when it comes to people sitting there saying, are you ready for the Lord to come back? I just sit there and say, you know what? When it happens, it happens. And I'm not really looking forward to it. In fact, every day I wake up, I thank God to be alive, because I have so many wonderful blessings in my life. My wonderful, beautiful wife, Sarah, being one of them, being my greatest blessing of all. And to tell you guys the truth, I'm thankful for everything that I have. But when the end comes, who knows? But I'm not going to listen to preachers. I'm not going to listen to these hypocritical fools who just want to sit there and tell me all the time that they know more than God, and they know when things are going to happen, when God's really the ultimate answer to everything that's going to happen in our lives. So I look at it this way. I'm going to keep praying to God every single night, especially for my wonderful, beautiful wife, Sarah, to come back home soon. And I'm going to keep on praying for good things to happen for everybody. And that's all I can hope and pray for, gang. So however you feel about churches, please leave a comment down below. If whatever your religious belief is, let me know in the comments below. Or if you want to do a response video to this one, go right ahead and share your feelings about it. But gang, I'm going to get on out of here because, well, I think I've rambled on long enough about how I feel about churches, especially in this town, and preachers altogether. So there you guys have it, and hope you guys enjoyed the video. And of course, if you like my videos, always feel free to subscribe. And I'll try and do another one sometime in the near future. What it'll be on, not quite sure, but we'll see what happens when it happens. Take care of yourselves, guys. God bless you all, and as always, stay strong and rock on.